Hello everyone, this is Vicious, and welcome back to more Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So in the last episode, we spent our time sneaking through Hyrule Castle to meet up with Princess Zelda, and I must say that was very successful on our part. The guards weren't very good at their job, I guess you could say. So anyway, Zelda here is telling us of a dream she had. I'll let you guys just read the text instead of explaining everything. But the gist of the story is that she had a dream about a very dark, ominous cloud covering Hyrule, and through that dark, ominous cloud came a shining light, which was directed at the forest, showing a man dressed in green, has a fairy by his side, and is also carrying the Kokiri Emerald. Well, in this case, just a shiny green stone. Well, we just did come from the forest. We are dressed in green. We did just recently obtain our own fairy, and we do have a nice shiny stone, thanks to the Great Dooku Tree. So, in reality, we are that figure that she saw in her dream. So anyway, Zelda here is going to tell us the story of the Secret Realm passed through the Hyrule royal family through the ages. And of course, only royal family members are able to know this secret. So basically, the gist of the secret is the Triforce itself, and what is the purpose of the Triforce. Now, of course, the Triforce being three separate sections, each representing a goddess that left the Earth after they're doing their job. So basically, anybody who obtains the Triforce has their wish granted to them. Now, it just depends on what your mindset is. If you have a righteous mind, or a righteous heart in this case, basically, Hyrule will prosper. But if you have an evil heart and evil mind, Hyrule will be thrown into pure chaos. So our goal now is to obtain the Triforce before the evil ominous cloud that Zelda had in her dream obtains it. But the Triforce is protected by something. It is protected by the Door of Time, which is located in the Temple of Time. Simple stuff. So our job now is to obtain the other two spiritual stones to open up the Door of Time. Now, just having all three spiritual stones won't open up the Door of Time right away. We still need one more item, and that's, my friend, is the Ocarina of Time, the title of the game. Now, without the Ocarina of Time, we can't open a door. But of course, it's held by the royal family as a treasure. And of course, now that we have our connection to the royal family, Princess Zelda, we have our way to get the Ocarina of Time, but not just yet, because we really don't need it yet. So anyway, Zelda here was just spying through the window and looking at this dark cloud that she had in her dream, which is Ganondorf himself, the king of the Gerudos. Now, interesting thing about the Gerudos is that they're a race of all females, except for one male that comes every so often, and when he is born, he instantly becomes king. Now, another little thing I want to ask is, if the Gerudos are all females, how does one get pregnant? How? Because there's only one man to ever grace the presence of the Gerudos. I mean, I guess the theory could be, and this is just a theory, is that the first man that comes will eventually have a child with one of the other Gerudo females. And if they're lucky, another male will be born. But if they're not, another female's born. So, if you think about it there, it kind of throws off the cycle if a female is born. I don't know why I'm getting into this, but it's very interesting to look up. So if you have any time, search Google and look around. It's interesting stuff. So anyway, we're going to agree here to help Zelda protect Hyrule. And she's all happy about it. Look at that happy face. Now, I remember playing this game with my brother, and for the longest time, it actually drove me insane when he just keeps saying no over and over again to everything Zelda was saying. And it drove me up the wall so bad that I yelled at him to just hurry up, because I wanted to play the game myself, and I was sick of him just pressing no over and over again. So there you go. Interesting little tidbit of my childhood. So anyway, Zelda here is going to hand us a letter. Basically, this is going to allow us to get to Death Mountain. Also, we do have Zelda's autograph. I mean, that was super cool. Maybe I'll eBay Zelda's autograph. I don't know. So now that we have Zelda's letter and we learn of the secret of the Triforce, it's time to move on with our adventure to obtain the last 2 spiritual stones. But of course, Impa here stopped us. Now, when I first played this game, I thought I got caught, man. I was like, oh man, am I going to get out of this castle with her standing there the entire time? But thankfully, Impa here is here to help us. Basically, in Zelda's dream, she was the one that taught us the song of the royal family. Basically, the song of the royal family is Zelda's Lullaby. It's a very important song to this game, so remember it if you can. Basically, Impa here used it to help Zelda get to sleep, so hence the name Zelda's Lullaby. Now, that's another thing I want to bring up. What was the song called before it was called Zelda's Lullaby? Because before that, you know, other kings, queens, princesses, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't used as a lullaby for that. So, interesting little things there. I don't know, maybe I'm just looking way too deep into this game. Being a Zelda fanatic, I kind of look really, really deep into the game. I don't know. I'm probably just overanalyzing it like crazy. So anyway, Impa here teaches us Zelda's Lullaby. Now this here is going to be our proof to let everybody know that we have a connection to the royal family. This will come in handy a lot. So anyway, Impa here is going to help us escape the castle so we don't have to sneak through the guards again, even though that wasn't very difficult anyway. And we have our new goal, head to Death Mountain. Death Mountain's a very interesting place. Now, of course, before we can actually go to Death Mountain, we have to stop by a little-known village known as Kakariko Village. Now, see, I had to stop there for a second because I do tend to mess up the saying of that village. Or, in this case, how you pronounce it. Zelda games are very weird with how they pronounce things. Since there's no voice acting, it's kind of hard to figure out how it's actually pronounced. Same with Kakariko Village, Deku, so on and so forth. Anyway, Impa here tells us to remember to play the song to let people know that we actually have a connection to the royal family. And of course, like a ninja, she teleports away. Basically, her kind are the ninjas of Hyrule, which is really, really cool. I would actually like to see the entire, tribe. Now, I'm actually not going to pronounce the tribe's name because I know I'm going to slaughter it. And that's going to upset some Zelda fan out there. And trust me, I upset myself sometimes when I try to pronounce it because I am a die-hard Legend of Zelda fan. So anyway, time to head to Kakariko Village. Now, before we actually continue on to Death Mountain, we're going to do a few side quests here. We're going to pick up a bottle, and we're going to pick up the Sun Song. So anyway, here's Kakariko Village. Also, there are some gold Skulltulas to get here, so make sure to come back here during the day and at night. I believe most of them show up at night. So our first goal here is to obtain some chickens. That's right, we have to collect chickens. We are now the chicken chaser of Hyrule. Now, if anybody gets that, I love you. So basically, for obtaining all the chickens, we get the bottle. Now, of course, there's a few chickens out there that are really hard to obtain, and you have to actually use other chickens to get to them. Like, for instance, we're going to use this chicken here to fly over the other side here. Also, that's a very interesting thing about these chickens, is you can use them to glide. Now, I personally don't know how these chickens are holding up Link for that long, but you know what? He's not that big. Even though when you become an adult, you can pick up chickens and throw them as well, and glide with them. So, I don't know. Now, of course, everybody knows these chickens being evil, vicious monsters when you attack them enough. For those who don't know, when you attack them enough, they become an army of death chickens. That's right, an army of death chickens. Basically, they will attack you until you die, enter a building, or leave the area. So there you go. They are relentless killers. I believe this was first introduced in the Link to the Past. I remember doing it in Link to the Past, just stabbing the chicken over and over again because I got bored one day. And just out of nowhere, I was actually inside of a building when this happened too. And I just got swarmed to death. I was like, oh my god. And I just lost my mind. And after that day, I never attacked those chickens ever again. Unless I wanted to just mess around, but as a kid, that terrified me. Like, oh my god, I just unleashed like hell upon me. Basically what it is, man. These chickens are from hell. Ganondorf's not the threat of Hyrule anymore, man. It's these chickens. You can't even kill them. You just anger them more. Even Hyrule Warriors. They show up in Hyrule Warriors, and if you hit them, they go ballistic. And there's even a more threatening one called the Golden Chicken. Or the Golden Cuckoo, in this case. Sorry if I butcher the word cuckoo. That's just how I pronounce it. Basically, there's a golden version of it in Hyrule Warriors, in which you hit that one, it absolutely wrecks your face. My level 99 Link got wrecked by a golden cuckoo. Yeah, let us sink in for a little bit. The hero of time. The hero of the wind. All the names he had before him got killed by a golden chicken. Yeah, that happens. So anyway, some of these chickens are put out there. You actually have to use your wits here to find all of them. Now, of course, I am actually missing one that I forgot to grab, but I grabbed it anyway. I kind of talked to the lady after throwing this chicken in, thinking I obtained all of them. But, of course, I did not. Also, I love the way Link just, like, kind of dashes. He's, like, jogging. You know, Hyrule's Destiny... I can wait. I'm just going to collect some chickens here. So that's the funny thing about Majora's Mask 2 that everybody likes to make. The moon is coming to crash down on Termina, and Link is just taking his sweet time by helping everybody, playing minigames, collecting masks. But then again, when you get more deep into the game, you understand all that stuff. So anyway, we have one more chicken to obtain here. He's hiding it in one of these crates up here. I believe it's this one up here. Actually, no, he's just chilling up here. I thought he was hiding in a crate. Never mind. So after we throw this last chicken in and obtain our bottle, we're going to head to the graveyard to obtain the Sun Song. Now, the Sun Song is not as important, but it's useful. And if you can't already guess what the Sun Song does, it changes day to night and night to day. And we're going to use it here because there are some things you can obtain at night. Like some gold Skulltulas just chilling. Now, some of the mini-games, I'm going to try to do every mini-game if I possibly can, but some of them are really tricky. Especially the shooting gallery mini-game, because for some reason my aim is just god-awful. And it's really hard for me to actually hit everything I need to hit. So, fingers crossed that I can do it in one or two goes. If not, then I'm going to edit out a lot of things. But when we get to that, we'll get to that. So anyway, we are now in Kakariko. Wow, I just butchered that name. I told you I was going to butcher it. Kakariko Graveyard. So the only thing really that we're going to obtain in the graveyard for now is the Sun Song. Now the Sun Song, as I explained before, has its uses, but it's not as useful as, say, Zelda's Lullaby or some of the other songs that are in later Zelda games. Like, for instance, Saria's song is somewhat useful because if you're stuck somewhere, you can play the song and Saria will give you a tip to where to go next. That or Navi's annoying voice will jingle in and tell you what to do next. So it's up to you what you want to do there. Pick your poison. After playing Zelda's Lullaby here, a bolt of lightning will strike down, destroy the graveyard at the control level. And now a hole appears. Now, before we go into this hole, I want to explain something real quick. Yes, I had trouble finding the last bat in here. There are like 3 or 4 bats you have to kill. And that last one, for some reason, is always hiding. Now, of course, I should have noticed he was hanging on the door there. But I'm being dumb. Because my aim's pretty bad, as you can tell. Looking for one over here. And now, for some reason, I completely missed this guy. He's hanging on the doorway if you can't find him. I am just being dumb and have absolutely no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm looking all over the place. I'm trying to get a better vantage point. Funny thing is, I look by the doorway and I look right up by him, which is very, very dumb of me. But then again, I think I was like half asleep when I was recording this, so sorry about that. Yeah, as you can tell, he's really hard to notice as well. If you don't actually get him on a higher platform or have some sort of way to get him off the light, he's very hard to notice. Because he blends in so well with the background. And as you see, I'm still looking for him. I'm looking at all the lanterns. Nothing. Yeah, also, you really don't need to light those torches up. They don't really do much. I believe they spawn like a small chest that has really nothing in it. And there's really only one way to light those torches, and you have to actually have Din's fire, which we don't have right now. So anyway, after killing the last bat, we open up the door, and we get a rupee out of it. Hey. So we can only hold the 99 rupees right now, but after we get a few more gold skulltulas, we'll be able to obtain the adult wallet, which allows us to hold up to 200. So anyway, this is your first instance of re-deads. We're just going to skip these guys and take a bit of damage, because I don't need things hugged on my face right now. I remember playing this game for the first time, and those re-deads scared the crap out of me. Those and wall masters are the two things I hate most about this game. But after playing Majora's Mask, I can now just laugh at re-deads. And when we get to that game, I'll show you why. So anyway, here's a nice little message here. This is the message left by the Composer Brothers of Hyrule. And within that little stone there is a secret melody, which is known as the Sun Song. Now this one is really easy to remember too. So it's basically right, down, up, right, down, up. It's just when you start getting to some of the other songs that have A's in them, like when you start using the A button, they can be a bit more tricky. I'll be coming across those a little bit later. Anyway, after learning the Sun Song, we changed day to night. And thankfully we did that, because now we can actually obtain some gold skulltulas laying around. Now, of course, we're not warped out of there. We still have to run through the re-deads again. Oh, re-deads, you terrifying, terrifying things. Now, of course, later on, we'll be coming across something even more terrifying than re-deads. But we have a long way before even that situation occurs. So yeah, we took some damage, but it's better than having our face humped by a re-dead. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you enjoy having your face humped by re-deads. I don't know. I just like killing them. So anyway, it's nighttime now in the graveyard. There is a patch up here, a dirt patch, which you plant a seed, which we don't actually have at the moment, so we'll come back to that a little bit later, and that's a way you can obtain a heart piece. I believe it's a heart piece up there. It should probably be a heart piece. So anyway, it's nighttime in Kakariko Village, and there's a few more things we can obtain before we head to Death Mountain. So I believe there is a gold skulltula over this way. There, he's just chilling there. I don't know why I pulled out my ocarina there, but wrong button time. Anyway, kill that gold skulltula, pick up a token. Happy days are here again. Now there's one more on the other side of this building here. I'm also going to roll in this tree as well, because there's also one chilling at this tree. There's a guy you can talk to, but he's not very important at the moment. Later on, though, we'll play with him. So that's another gold skulltula for us. I believe at the end of this I have like 8 or 9, I'm not sure. I would have a little bit more if I went to Long Ranch, but I kind of bypass that for now, because once you obtain the item from Lord Jabu Jabu's belly, then we're actually going to head to Long Ranch. Because we still have to pick up a song there, there's a few gold skulltulas to kill, and a heart piece. So, we'll be going there a little bit later. Anyway, we're going to head up to Death Mountain now. We're going to need that letter from Zelda. There we go. And no, I don't want to save the game. Now, I love the way they ask you to save the game in this one, because all you do is exit the menu. But in Majora's Mask is more tedious, because every time you play the Sun Song, I mean not the Sun Song, but the Song of Time, it restarts time over. It restarts time over to save it. So I thought that was a little more tedious. Also, one more gold score for us. I completely forgot that guy was even over there. So anyways, talk to this guard over here. We're going to show him the letter. And of course, he mocks us. This is Link. He's under my orders to save Hyrule. And of course, he mocks us for it. You know what? Yeah, you're begging for mercy when when Ganondorf comes around and starts destroying your place. Yeah, you'll be asking for my help then. You won't be laughing then, will you? So anyway, even though he thinks it's a joke, he still allows us to go through that mountain. But he also gives you a little bit of advice. Basically, if we're going to climb Death Mountain, we should equip ourselves a proper shield. Now, we can actually obtain that proper shield back in Hyrule Town Market. And of course, he's super nice. We mention him by name, and we'll get a discount for it. So the shield we'll be obtaining in the next part will be the Hyrulean shield. I'm sorry. I'm messing up all types of things today. Sorry about that, guys. And he also asks you to pick up a shop from the Happy Mask shop. Basically, it's a key something, which is the Keaton mask. Which when I first saw it, I thought it was a Pikachu. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching this episode of Ocarina of Time, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Have a wonderful day and take care.